Her first words when she came to one of our grief retreats, it was June of 2010. This young couple came in late, and when she looked at the group that was there, a group of about 16 people, she said these words. I'll never forget it, of course. She said, "I hate God, and if that's a problem with anybody, my husband and I are going to just turn around and go home, if that's a problem." We said what we always say at Spark of Life. We said, everybody's welcome here. Her story was horrific, as most stories are that we deal with at a Spark of Life grief retreat. Her story was that they had their first baby. Her name was Katie, and Catherine and Kevin were so excited as they were just starting out life together. And when Katie was born, everything seemed to fit perfectly healthy. They took her home, and 18 days later, she died of crib death, and their world collapsed, as you can well understand. I know many of you can relate to what Catherine went through and was going through. She was in deep grief. During the retreat, 3.5 days grief retreat, 148 grief retreats we've been privileged and honored to do, and we've seen people like this all the time that are given up on God. They're confused about God, and rightly so, they're confused. Well, in those 3.5 days on Sunday, we wrapped up the retreat around noon. We had Catherine wanted to say something to the group before we all left, and she said, when I came in here on Friday morning, I stated I hated God. He said, I want everybody to know I don't hate God anymore. We're not best buddies yet, but we're really getting there. So what in the world happened to Catherine in 3 days that caused her to go from hopeless to hopeful? Now, we didn't take away Catherine's pain, because we can't take away your pain. We don't teach people to get over losses. We help people get through losses with their pain. There's a big difference there. So in 3.5 days, Catherine, what happened? First of all, she felt accepted. Acceptance is the key to every relationship. It's the key to marriage relationships. And by the way, acceptance does not mean endorsement. I can accept somebody as they are, but not endorse particular bad behavior. Now, people who come to our retreats, and you might be there too, you have this core loss or losses, and they can be both death and non-death, or they can be either one or the other, that has sent you to the mat and sends you into that pit of grief. And what an added grief is when you think something's wrong with you. One of our core beliefs at Spark of Life is there's nothing wrong with you, even though there's plenty wrong with you and me, but it's not wrong to have a broken heart. It's not wrong to grieve. And grief is not a sign of a broken faith, even though my faith might feel broken. And when people accepted Catherine, and when we accept one another as we are at a retreat, things start to happen, because you start getting rid of one piece of the puzzle of keeping you stuck in grief, and it is that what is wrong with me? Other people are doing better than I am with this grief and this loss. Why am I still in the pit? I don't even want to go back to church, for crying out loud. And so at a retreat, when you have full acceptance, maybe you start believing there's nothing really wrong with you feeling so bad, and it really paves the way for growth. In 3.5 days, when you feel accepted, it doesn't take away your pain. It doesn't mean you're over it. It means now a little sliver of hope creeps into your life, slips into your life. So a second thing happened besides acceptance, and it was nobody tried to fix her. We don't fix people at Spark of Life. Have you had somebody ever try to fix you? And they can be beautiful, wonderful people who intend to help encourage you. Have you ever had anybody say to you, you shouldn't feel the way you should? You should get over it by now. We had one couple come to a retreat who had lost a son many years earlier, and they said they lost a lot of their friends because one of their best friends, a year after their son died suddenly, a well-intended friend called and said, it's been a year, you should get over this, like something's wrong with you. They're trying to fix. Well, nobody tried to fix Catherine or anybody else at our retreats because of two reasons. Number one, we don't have the power to fix anybody. And number two, we don't think you need fixing. We think you need acceptance and a plan and encouragement and being equipped, and to have a plan when you leave there of what are you going to do that can help you live forward with your pain. The third thing that happened is she found out she was not alone. She was not alone. There are times to be all alone when I'm in deep grief. Even when I'm not in deep grief, it's nice to be alone sometimes, and to take a walk alone, and to gaze upon the ocean alone, or to contemplate life alone. There are certain times every day I think I need some alone time. We're not talking about that alone time. When Catherine and Kevin, her husband, came to that retreat, they felt all alone. Nobody got it from their point of view. nobody understood them because people are trying to fix them. They're good-hearted people trying to fix. And the more they tried to get her back to church, the more they tried to fix her by sending her scripture, they thought they were doing good. And for some people, that really helps. But for Catherine, it didn't help. So she started staying away because it was too painful. And when every time you go, somebody says, how are you doing? I want to give you a scripture. I want to give you this. You need to do this, and give unsolicited advice, the more it pushes people to be all alone. So she felt isolated. We were not meant to be totally alone all the time. So at the Spark of Life grief retreat, she discovered that people were there just like her that had all these same emotions. Some had other emotions that she didn't have. We all got it. She isolated and didn't think anybody understood her and started to retreat back to herself, which compounded her grief and kept her stuck in the pit of grief longer and longer and longer. So she does something positive by signing up for the retreat, not knowing what it's going to be like, being almost afraid of it, very defensive. So she comes in on the first day of the retreat is, if this is a problem with you guys, and I think she chose her words very carefully because she is testing the waters, and if you can't handle my emotions about God right now, I am not going to be here. So you see how these feelings of being shattered in grief and buckling under the weight of this horrific loss sends people to isolation sometimes, especially when others in their life keep trying to fix them and they don't accept them where they are. So she felt accepted when she came in. Nobody tried to fix her. And then she started opening up and being part of a supportive community of all these messed up people with grief, who an unintended side effect of being in a group like that of people who accept her as she is, because everybody's got their problems. The unintended side effect is you start seeing other people are just as broken as you are. They have different kinds of losses, but they're still as broken. They're broken. And when we talk about people trying to fix others, and have any of your friends ever tried to fix you and it turned you off, it hurt you, it didn't help you, like every hand goes up. She starts to see that, and they start to bond as a group on many different issues like this because nobody's fixing, everybody's supportive, and she started to reach out to others who are hurting. She wasn't the only one hurting. Now, other people's grief does not take away my grief. We don't compare losses at a Spark of Life retreat. Your loss is different than mine. My life shattered at that time. Your life is shattered, different reasons, even if it's similar losses. And what happens when we're in that supportive environment for 3.5 days away from our daily responsibilities, all that's why we call it a retreat. What happens is we start to help other people. We realize we're not the only one in this very lonely boat, and the boat is not as lonely as we thought it was. It's still lonely. There's still moments, but now we reach out to other people. One person I heard speaking about grief said this: sometimes our grief is so overwhelming, all we can think about is our loss. It's all consuming. Every waking moment is about our loss. That is natural and normal. It does not mean you are selfish. But every now and then, I've got to think of other people. And so for a while in my grief journey, it's overwhelming so much I can't even think of others. But then I start doing a little bit of, hey, you're hurting too. What can I do to help you? And though I'm still in grief, I'm now not isolated. And it helps me to help others. And she started being a support to other people, especially in her smaller group of 2 or 3 women. She began to help those. She listened to their lost journey. She listened to their pain in their heart, and she was there to give them a hug. And as I reach out to others, sometimes we get so consumed with what we've lost, we lose sight of what we still have. You ever done that? You lose sight of what you still have. And gradually, as you get out of that pit of grief, a little ray of sunshine comes in when I try to help you with your loss by just being there, not trying to fix you, but by being there. So that's what happened with Catherine. She was accepted, nobody tried to fix her, and she didn't any longer feel all alone. We hate it if you're feeling all alone and nobody understands you. We hate that. We want to be there for you. So check out sparkoflife.org with our online course, our in-person grief retreats, and our coaching. We have wonderful coaches who care about you. They understand all these principles very well. At Spark of Life, think there's hope. We know there's hope for you. And check out sparkoflife.org and discover with us that at Spark of Life, there's always hope.